Hey Fabulous Mom, do you want to find out how you can grow money smart kids? Stay tuned. If this is your first time to my channel, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. On my channel, I share things as relate to marriage and money, motherhood and money, and everything else in between. So as I shared, I want to talk about how you can grow money smart kids. And so being a homeschool mom and a licensed financial coach, oftentimes I get questions from other parents on what do you do to help your kids to also teach them about the money games. And so I tell them different things according to what's their age, what's going to be appropriate for them, and how soon they can start. And so I just want to share a couple of things that I want you to think about so you can begin to have money conversations with your children, or maybe your grandchildren, or your nieces and nephews, whomever. At the end of the day, the sooner we start having money conversations with our children, the better that they are going to be when it comes to making money moves properly, not emotionally, but truly mathematically. So with that being said, let's get into this. So one of the things that I want you to know is that you can, listen to what I'm saying, you can raise money smart kids. Yes, you can, no matter what your background is. Let me premise that first. Also, you can start money conversations early, even with young ones, without helping them to understand needs and wants. 3, you can guide them to make good money choices. Let's think about some things that you've done that didn't work and that you've learned from that now you can share with your children. And 4, you can help your kids avoid money pitfalls. Yes, you can. Okay? No matter what mistakes you think you've made, those mistakes are really not to downplay you or make you feel like, oh, you know, you're not the smartest thing when it comes to money. It's to help you to learn from that, and now you can be able to teach your children. How powerful is that? So it's not a failure, there are teaching moments. And so I want to just think about this. If you were to hold a mirror to your face and you're checking out that mirror, you're looking out good, yes. Would you want your children to reflect your money moves? So my question is to you, check your money mirror. How do you do that? So this is how you do that. Money mistakes that you can help fix, okay? Money mistakes that you've had, and I've had them too, that you can help fix, and that what I've done to help my children as I've learned more and more about making proper money moves. But before I go any further, if you haven't done so, make sure you go ahead and you like, subscribe, and share, okay? Make sure you stay all the way to the end as I drop these nuggets for you. Also, this video is sponsored by Legal Shield, because at the end of the day, everyone needs to have affordable legal protection. Whether that's a will, how to set up a trust, a power of attorney, a living will. Heaven forbid something happens to your children, right? That your will, right? Your wishes are being let out, right? If that's the proper word. Your wishes are being executed, and not wishes of what the courts system or maybe somebody you do not want to have your children, right? So at the end of the day, when you are of the sound mind, this is the time you start setting up your will. This is the time that you start setting up your trust. But before you set up a trust and all that, make sure you have a will first, and the other legal things that needs to be in place, right? Your assets. Even if you say, I don't have a whole lot of assets, yes you do, believe it or not, okay? So making sure those things are in place. So go ahead, click on the link below, the legal protection. You can ask questions, and not only is it not just wills and trusts and all that type of stuff, right? But even if you have a ticket, I've had to use that. Even if you have to have a letter to be sent out to somebody, whatever the legal concern, it's like having an attorney in your back pocket. So go ahead, click on the link below and check out Legal Shield and see if it's a good fit for your family. I have it. I also have the identity theft as well. That's a part of it, because unfortunately one of my daughter's identity got stolen And so I went ahead and started to use the legal side as well as their identity theft, because unfortunately the struggle is real, even for your little ones. So let's talk about some common mistakes and smart money fixes. And yes, I am looking at my notes because I do not want to forget it. So losing money. What do you need to do to help fix losing money? Well, a smart money fix is designate a safe place for money that you can put out in smaller amounts, right? And helping to have that conversation with your children as why you're doing this to protect your money, because unfortunately there are so many scams out there, and some of the things, they sound really, really good until you get caught up in it, right? So less smaller your amount that you have to deal with, then you won't be totally devastated. The next one is borrowing money. All right, let's talk about a money fix with that one. So expect kids to pay back loans and early reinforce what happened, that money is not free when they have to borrow, whether that's through a credit card, whether that's through car loans, whether that's through mortgage, helping them to understand what borrowing does. And also share with them the good side and the bad side of borrowing, right? Borrowing on the bad side is when you are borrowing money to get things you don't need. That's not going to give you any return of value whatsoever. But then the good side is maybe you're borrowing to buy a home. You're borrowing to start a business where eventually you can pay off your home, that now you own it fully outright, not you in the bank. Or you have this business now, the business is paying you so much that you've paid off that loan and now you are living debt free. So helping them to understand the good side and the bad side of credit when it comes to borrowing, and also the interest side as well. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, so the next common money mistake is inappropriate purchases. And I kind of talked about briefly, where saying no to things you feel are unsafe, unhealthy, and stick to it. Listen, it is okay to say no to your children. Did you hear what I said? It is okay to say no to your children, because the reality is that when they become adults, they're going to hear plenty of no's themselves. And so if they don't understand what no's is and what you're trying to prevent them, then they live in this false sense of reality, right? And they can't deal with when life happens and difficulty happens, that they cannot be resilient and come back from those challenges. Okay, so you start by saying no to things that you know they should not and they do not need to have, and it's okay. It does not make you a bad parent. It makes you a wise parent. These are some things that I also teach my children. Case in point, one of the things I did with my oldest daughter was when she was about 5 or 6 and she went to school and she had this jacket. It's a quick little story. So I pick her up from school. She comes in the car and I said, what happens with the jacket? And she was like, I don't know, I lost it. I said, you lost your jacket? And so we had this whole conversation about needs and wants of the jacket and the value of it. Now, some of you may come for me, that's fine, whatever the case may be, but I'm gonna tell you that it worked. So I said, okay then. She had gotten money from different things that she had in her piggy bank outside of her investments. And so I said, bring your piggy bank. When we got home, I said, bring your piggy bank with me. And I said, do you know how much the jacket costs? And if you're going to any type of private school or these different school jackets, they're gonna be kind of costly when you can just simply go to Target or one of these other children's places and buy a jacket. But they want you specifically to have the school jacket. And so I said, okay, so I got her piggy bank. I emptied it out. She's looking and she's like, what you gonna do with my money? I said, I'm gonna buy you another jacket. What? You're gonna take my money? And I said, I sure am. And she stood there and she's crying. It's like, no, Mommy, don't take it. And I said, well, if you find your jacket, because she was so nonchalant about it, if you find your jacket, you will get your money. So I took the money, I bagged it up, okay? I gave it a couple of weeks. As a matter of fact, 2 weeks to be exact. So she comes home, my husband picks her up from school, I didn't pick her up, she comes in the house, she runs inside, she's excited, she says, mommy, 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 I can hear her. I was like, what happened, baby? And she's just like, mommy, I found my jacket. And I was like, congratulations. The next thing out of her mouth was, can I have my money back? And I was like, absolutely, absolutely. Let me tell you, it taught her such a money lesson till this very day. She's not traumatized. Till this very day, that if she lose something, she's gonna diligently seek it out, or she know in her mind that she's gonna have to pay for it, or she's not going to spend her money whatsoever because she hates to lose it. She'd rather me use mine, even though it's just like, if you use my money, this is what the interest is gonna be. Yes, every money lesson is important. Yes, it is. So that's something when I did. So inappropriate purchases, say no, right? So they can understand the value of money. And understand too, a money mistake is greed. Greed, greed. So help kids understand how rewarding it can be to share their wealth with others, right? Showing them how valuable it is to give to the poor, right? If they have something more, how we can be able to share that. And I've done this with my children. And one of the ways I've done it is sometimes if I have $1 in my purse or somebody I have in a car, I'll give it to somebody on the street that's begging. Even with our mission, because we do have a mission in Jamaica, and I bring my kids on the mission as well and help them prepare them. We will go shopping for the mission and for the different kids in Jamaica and buy the toys, and my kids get really excited to the point where they start getting any stuff that they get, and they're like, okay, I can share this because I don't need all of these toys with other children, because they realize that life is not always about them. So we're also teaching them not to be self-absorbed, which is a powerful thing. It's not about me. You know, we see the selfies and the Instagrams or whatever. It's about me and how I look, right? And they serve their purpose. But what we want to make sure that our children are making sound decisions when it comes to understanding the value of money and sharing, okay? So this is something that you can help them to understand greed and the importance of sharing. And then credit card debt. Teaching older children, because listen, one thing I understand is that I didn't realize this until I got to college and I got on that college campus, that credit card trap that they have. As soon as you get there, or even if you're just working, you're going to the store, they're ready to push a card and say, guess what, you're going to get an additional discount if you sign up for this card. And so the sooner we can teach our children, say, listen, you think you're going to get an extra 20 or 30% off, but you can end up paying more than what you thought you were saving, because in their mind, the credit card company already knows that you're not going to pay the bill because you don't understand how it works. And so when the bill comes, you're going to pay this little payment, not understanding, okay, no problem, that 20 or 30% that you thought you were getting a discount out, you're going to pay double that. So a lot of times when I go places and my children see, oh, mommy, they're going to offer you a card, you're going to take it, and I'm just like, nope, because you could end up paying more. Now, I'm going to pay it off, but I want them to understand the concept that, listen, when you are presented with something, understand the cost of it fully, right? And the psychology of it. So teach older children, teach older teens, right, how to handle credit responsibly with a secured card. So having them get a secured card, understanding the max limit they should use according to how much that they the credit limit that they receive, what happens to their credit score, what that means, and helping them to understand what percentage they really want you to use without their credit being deemed. Okay, and some of the things that another way that you can help your children even propel them with their credit is that if you have good credit, you can put them on there as well. They're not using it, right, unless you have designated a particular amount, but it starts contributing to their credit history sooner than later. So I love the fact that at the end of the day, when we can teach our children proper money moves, it really puts them in the position that when they become adults, they are more prone to be more concerned more financially frugal. And listen, at the end of the day, I want my family and my children and yours too to understand the money game and enjoy the different stages of life. But we have to understand that once you get things, what you need to do with them properly. Because one thing I did not realize, and I was just talking this with my mom, was I bought a piece of property when I was in my early 20s. And at the time when I bought the property, it was either $15,000 or $18,000. I was doing like $200 or $150 a month. And when I ended up selling that property, because I did not have the right mindset, I made about $60,000 on that property. But do you know, guess what I did? I took the money that I got from that property, and I ended up paying my debt off, which brought me back to square one. That's why I say when you get money, the first thing you need to do is take care of yourself first. Well, for us, God, tithes and offering, then myself, not by going shopping, right? Putting something away or put it towards another investment or whatever the case may be, and then worry about the bills, because then you'll be back to square one. That's the same thing. You're getting some of you may be getting refunds, or you're getting this check amount, and you're like, woo, I'm so excited. Come to find out, you're taking this money, you're buying TVs or something else you don't need, and not having that money grow for you, starting a business, doing something where that money could be turned to get additional money. That's what I want to say. So here's some examples as you have talked about checking your mirror, right? Identifying some mistakes and some fixes. And here's some examples that I want you to consider. Number one, model the attitude you want your kids to have toward money. Listen, at the end of the day, where there is life, there is hope. So whatever way that you need to change your money attitude, your children are watching. If you are a shopper, every time you get money, guess where they're going to be? They're going to be shoppers as well. Unless they make a conscious decision, it's like, I don't want to be like my mom or my dad, because I saw what happened when they will go shopping, and then a few weeks after, they were miserable because they bought this stuff and they needed money for other things. Number two, emphasize the value of money. That money is a tool, and that we have to understand how to use the tool of money properly, because it's supposed to help you to gain more money, that it can grow. That's also changing our mindset. That money is not just to buy things and be consumers, but money is to buy things that's going to give us value, that we can build assets and decrease liabilities. Number three, as I just said this, I kind of jumped ahead of it. Pay yourself first. As I told you that story, pay yourself first. Treat yourself like a bill. Don't wait till you pay all your bills and then you say, oh, now here's something for myself. Absolutely not. You're the one work hard, right? Not the credit card company, not the other bill collectors that are sitting there, you're waiting. You have to make sure that you take care of yourself first. Let me tell you. Now, baby, I am taking care of me and my family first before I even take care of my bills, because that's what wealthy people do. Number four is get your debt in control. Get your debt under control. Get it under control. And as I said, it doesn't matter where you are right now in your debt, really and truly. It's about making a decision that you're not going to allow your debt to control you, but you are going to control your debt by putting a plan together, meeting with a financial coach. Hey, Jamali. So you know exactly what you need to do, how you need to do it, and have some accountability. Because a lot of times we have good intentions, but when we depend on our own demise, okay, it doesn't always happen that way. So this is where it begins, having that accountability and having a proper game plan in place, which hence, if you go ahead and you click on here, plan, right, I would love to connect with you. Also, I do offer a complimentary 15 minutes discovery to see where you are and how I can help you and see if we are a good fit when it comes to your financial game plan, when it comes to creating another stream of income, so we can find out what streams that's going to be suitable for you as well. All right, so go ahead, click the link so you can book an appointment with me. Love to connect with you. It's a complimentary 15 minutes as well. Because at the end of the day, listen, you have the intention, but you didn't have the accountability. And so now you'll have the accountability. You'll also have the game plan that's going to be a good fit for you and your family. Number 5 is be in the habit of giving, right? That is not the bad thing. Let your kids know it's good to share. Sharing is caring. We hear that all the time. And what it does to you, right? What releases when you're able to give, when you're able to share, the excitement that it brings to your face. Now it's going to elevate to your children where they're going to get excited and it's just like, oh, mommy, I want to give something too. I want to do something. Well, absolutely. They may come up with things and ways to give outside of the back. And especially when they're children, well, people will just be like, wow, I love their enthusiasm. What can I do to help out? Yeah, people love children. Number 6, speak openly about money with your kids. Let them know. And not some people that have a thing that I don't want my kids to know our housing expenses. I don't want to think that we can't afford it or whatever the case may be. No, it's the way you present it and how you share it with them, right? Because you can simply say, I want to prepare you, like I do my children, for that when you leave this house, you know how to manage your finances and that you're not ready as soon as you get money in your hand, that you're ready to go buy. Now, if you want to buy things that brings you value, right? Always buying value. ABB. That's how you tell them to shop. How you need to shop? Always buy value. ABV. Let me say that again. How we teach our children to shop is ABV. Always buy value. Okay, so you like shopping? Great. Let's go buy some assets. Let's buy some stocks. Let's go buy some bonds. Let's go buy some property. Okay, let's go start a business. Always ABB. Okay, ABB. And number 7 is keep your priorities straight. The difference between a need and a want, and sometimes you may have to invest or save before you can purchase that thing that you want, right? Teaching that things about their priorities, because at the end of the day, this is going to help your children to be money smart kids. So what I want you to do is comment below smart kids if you enjoy this, and share something that you do with your children to help them to be smart money kids. Go ahead, share below. Make sure you give it a thumbs up because it does help my channel, which I deeply appreciate you supporting, watching, right? Share as well, subscribe so you know when I upload videos. And like I always say, remember to pray, plan, and believe, because God is still in the business of doing miracles. Make it a great day. Bye, fabulous.